My name is Guilherme Malheiros.
Cause you're everywhere to me.
Today's topic is fair use.
And when I close my eyes, it's you I see. Did you think that I'd be able to stop? You're everything I know that makes me believe.
Look at Indianapolis, baby.
I'm not alone. Alright, you guys all remember the worst documentary ever made in the history of history?
Yup.
I think that was actually a pretty phenomenal recap we had right there.
Yup.
Something that I missed is that I offered my services to the World Fitness Project. That video was those services. I asked ChatGPT, what if Andrew Hiller was doing this for the World Fitness Project's first documentary? Likely quote of $7,500 to $15,000.
Oh my god.
Really, I wasn't gonna do any of this, and I didn't want to, but there was a commenter who said that they wanted to know more, and at the end of the documentary, Lauren herself says that her and the team are looking for feedback.
Because this is a team that will take criticism and feedback.
Today is going to be an exercise to see if they've taken me up on any of those suggestions. At this point, I'm essentially on the World Fitness Project payroll. $10,000 of free work there, $10,000 of free work there. I wrote their entire season for next year a couple of days ago. The first 2 minutes are phenomenal. I had a lingering issue about the first couple of minutes being very good. The pacing is great, the clips that they put in from the athletes and the commentators are great, the sound in the background is great. I remember this one shot of Fisa Gaffi in the original documentary that seemed like it was really there. And by that I mean it seems like just more work was put into this one specific shot. Kind of like watching The Scorpion King or The Mummy Returns, you know, the Brendan Fraser movies, you know, when the Rock comes out in the second movie and it's like, what, did they waste all of the money on the tomb and the pyramids? Like, why does The Rock look like that? It's the opposite. It's like they spent all of the money on the CGI for The Rock, and Fisa Gaffi is The Rock in the freaking Mummy Returns movie. And the rest of the movie was garbage. But I gotta let you know, right up front, that was the worst documentary that I've ever seen. There were 263 comments at the time of which I was making this video, basically all agreeing. It was a 1 out of 10. It might have been a 1 out of 100. It could have only had gone up. And again, the overarching question to this video is, did they listen to any of the things I had to say in that? Did they even watch it? I think they did. I mean, anybody watching this video would just have to admit that it would be dumb for them to have not watched it and then applied something within that video into this video. Here are the things I realized that they picked up on. Lauren's not in it.
Why not?
I don't think it was Lauren's fault. I think that she was presented a little bit too much.
Because this is a team that will take criticism and feedback.
Lauren's great what she does, and the major critique I had about Lauren was that she was thrust into a position where she was now basically the narrator for the entire thing, and it didn't work. Remember I said you should have used Annie and Katrin or maybe Matt Fraser to narrate this entire thing and make it a little bit more punchy? That was the clip. That clip. It's just thinking, are you ever gonna stop talking about what are you talking about? There was a little bit too much Lauren. That actually kind of ends up being an issue in this documentary. You'll hear what I mean by that in a second. I don't know why she wasn't in it, but she wasn't there. They don't spend the first half of the video showing how hard everyone's working.
Why not?
I remember random shots of random videographers just thinking, oh, this guy is trying to show off everybody why. Oh, and there's a videographer. I believe that dude's name is Dylan. Great dude. Has no place in the documentary shooting athletes. You're not thinking of the audience. You should be thinking about the audience. Stop showing the video. And there's none of that in this, so they listen to that. There isn't a massive 30 to 40 second section of Danny Spiegel talking about her love for Avril Lavigne and Skater Boy. And then you have 37 consecutive seconds of Danny Spiegel talking about Avril Lavigne. It's way too much.
BKG is a bona fide skater boy.
This is the story arc of Tour Stop 1. And then also tying it somehow, some way into BKG, also listening to Avril Lavigne.
First one, so go ahead and take the seat, and I might have to make a few adjustments. But
Perfect.
There were no dramatic, for no reason attempted to be dramatic shots of people like Amy Kringle approaching the camera in slow motion. There was no dramatic, artsy, fartsy camera recording camera crap, completely ruining the shots. Unless you've got footage of aliens landing on Earth and it's the only shot that you have from your 1995 Panasonic whatever. I know that I saw 50,000 cameras out on the floor. You could have used any clip. You don't need to use this clip for whatever reason in this documentary. There were these random cuts. And by random, I mean all you had to do is move the B-roll over a little bit, and there's a cut right before the B-roll of James Sprague. All you had to do is move the B-roll over a little bit more, and then you don't see the cut. It's magical. It was fixed. Phenomenal. Great. I actually said, and I think the first quarter of the documentary was entirely irrelevant, and they fixed that. They didn't show like the wives and Will Morad standing there with this coffee, setting up the machines that inevitably ended up breaking on them, giving people like me fuel to the fire. They kind of got right down to business in that first 2 minutes. Great. Now let's get into the rest of it, because I watched this twice. The first time, admittedly, I kind of just listened to it because I had it on in my car as I was driving around. And when I watched it back, I realized that there are way too many cuts. I think the guy's name is Marius Truth, and he has these 2 camera setups, which are good for convenient cuts where there's long breaks, but it's almost like he's cutting for the sake of cutting. And once you realize it, it's kind of like the word like or the word you just notice the amount of cuts and you kind of can't pay attention to what the person's saying on camera. And you'll see it right here in the clip in Tommy. In real time, as they were posting to their Instagram, I thought that the athletes approaching
this high, I ain't playing like a 6 fight. Pissed off, thought I told him this a chip shot.
Kind of like baseball games or football games where they're wearing their different uniforms was kind of really cheesy. The way that it was played off in the documentary is pretty cool with the music that they got in the background. I think that it was well done. At this point in time, I'm thinking I got nothing to talk crap about. The entire thing is great. They execute on a whole bunch of stuff. You got Roman saying stuff like this.
Yeah, I like compete. We can make more money.
Saying the loud part out loud. I'm like, damn, if they're going to include stuff like the clear intent of the athletes go in here to make money, like what are they going to have that could possibly be wrong?
For a long time, the sport has been very US-centric.
There it is, Tommy. What's the sport? Someone didn't watch the first documentary. Everyone knows what you're talking about, Mr. T.
But it's all building towards this grand finale in Europe.
I love that the final is in Europe. That's why I want to make it.
Tommy replaces Lauren in this. You see a whole lot of Tommy. Whomever is editing this one did a very good job of including what Tommy said about Europe and then having Liddy Kiesman there, who I believe is a European athlete.
I think the race for Copenhagen is definitely in the back of their mind.
Yeah, it's somewhere, right? Like 26 of them.
Tour stop 2 off and running was a long road.
I'm sure you did a lot of heavy lifting, Will.
Right, starts with site visits.
Vacations.
And coming out here and planning with stadium build out.
I haven't gotten outside the box too much.
See right there, the cut. I haven't gotten out of the side box too much. This is a straight shot of Will Morad with 6 cuts in it. I don't care what he said right there because all I can see is the changing of directions. For what reason?
I like letting our athletes showcase what they can do on mono.
On mono. Never heard that before. Isn't that a crazy video that was put out on Monday? I mean, it's crazier now.
That's a big part of how where the sport's trending now. Athletes are on machines.
We don't use machines. We are the machines.
Or running or swimming every day. So let them express what they can actually do in a single modality event.
It's by the athletes, for the athletes, and Will's doing it. He's doing it for the athletes. So I tell you what, Jason's been just building out his garage gym.
The hop shop is done.
Are you gonna bring in Tim the Toolman Taylor?
Fully renovated.
Bob the Builder.
Move that bus!
Is this gonna be your master plan to get eyeballs on the sport?
Move that bus!
If we have the athletes construct the GHDs in front of everybody for time, they each have a GHD in a box.
Move that bus!
And because we know that Jason's been doing equipment construction and garage demolition and building over the course of the past couple of months.
Move that bus!
Naturally, it's the next evolution of the sport to be doing this in our competition. That's the logic Will just used. And then Jason doesn't even show up.
The reemergence of Emma Lawson in a state that I think we haven't seen for a little bit since she kind of broke out as an individual at the games and finished second.
Pretty good story building about Emma Lawson there. Again, at this point in time, I'm like, Tommy's doing great. He hasn't been ruined with the skater boy-esque sort of story that they ruined Lauren with early on in the first documentary.
I wanted to include the handstand push-up volume in Pro 2 because we haven't seen 100 strict handstand push-ups in an event that I can think of.
All right, Billy, I haven't seen a blue duck before, and honestly, I just wanted to see a blue duck. That's all you had to say, Will, but then you go on and you do this crap.
And for the athletes that are competing at WFP, seeing 100 strict handstand push-ups in a training session isn't outside the norm.
No, Will, you're the best strict handstand push-upper in CrossFit outside of like Colton Mertens probably at this point, and maybe Austin Hatfield. You want to see if you can beat them on their times in these events.
This just starts to look like what Will likes.
And this is where it hit me. 10 to 15 minutes in, the thread to pull on that's going to drive everyone insane for the rest of time in relation to the World Fitness Project will be Will Morad. Because while I'm being nitpicky about the amount of cuts that they're making, maybe there's some music tweaks that I would make, the editors are phenomenally different. It was a 1 out of 100 on the first doc. This one goes all the way up to like a 50 out of 100. What is the increase on that? A 500 times increase? I mean, the biggest thing that I could say is that it's 30 minutes and it probably should have been 18 to 20 minutes. But at least you're not making everyone look stupid. Will's doing that on his own.
So I felt comfortable giving that dose.
Bro said dose like he's the doctor of the World Fitness Project.
Dallin basically came out and laid the challenge in front of everyone.
Very similar to Emma, Tommy does a great job of kind of presenting a storyline for Dallin here because he was kind of eating crap for a couple of events and then he comes out and he wins the next event, or at least does well on it.
On the women's side, I think there were some similar stories of comebacks and athletes really capitalizing on the programming that was laid out for them. Laura Horvath is definitely one of them.
First time watching this thing, I had the thought, I'm like, damn, this is like way too much Tommy. Which brings me back to the point I made in the beginning of the video, which is it was all Lauren, and I think they ruined Lauren really early with talking about
I'm going to preface this with, I never expected to get a call about the World Fitness Project.
A couple of facets here. Number one, she says preface. It's the first time that you're seeing Lauren on camera. And the thing about a post-produced video, you can make people look way better or you can make them look way worse. It's one of the reasons that post-production stuff is so cool, because you can basically make people look like superstars. So when Lauren says the word preface,
I'm going to preface,
which I've triple checked,
preface
isn't the way that you say it, no matter where you're at on the planet Earth.
Preface.
You're doing her a disservice. Tommy's like been good to a point, but I think if you had another commentator along with Tommy, potentially Lauren.
Preface.
I mean, hell, Brian Friend was there. They bring Brian in. It could be the three of them. And then all of a sudden you've got these differing takes on it. It isn't just straight Tommy all the time, because he had two good ones and then all of a sudden I was just tired of it.
The legs still feeling it more and more after the workout?
Yeah. For the longer I lay on that floor, my leg.
Another massive critique I had about the first one is that you could hear the guy behind the camera. I think that's Marius, and there was just like irrelevant things that he was doing. There's a question to ask behind the camera.
The guys from Belgium already arrived last night, right?
Yeah. And the answer given by Hanu does not require the prefacing question.
So the venue people that are here, they've already been laying out some of the flooring to be able to build on top of it.
You could have just cut out the word said beforehand. One of the things that the guy who makes the CrossFit documentaries, his name is Ian, is very good at. He runs up to people and goes, "What did you just say?"
What does that mean?
And you barely ever hear the dude behind the camera. Yeah, there's times where you are meant to hear the person behind the camera.
Why did you say that name?
There's times where it makes zero sense. This is one of those times. Did you even think why that needs to be in here? Use of the speaker behind the camera has to lead to the reason that you're including it. When it comes to Emma Tall,
Things were just aching more and more.
Did you go into this knowing you'd be very good in it?
Yeah.
How do you mentally approach it?
I talk a lot to David.
she's exhausted giving one-word answers and they wanted to have her there for whatever reason. I think it was a great use of Marius behind the camera.
NA Night Lights, obviously big lift. You could feel they wanted this to be a success.
The audio was jacked. There's a button to make it dual mono so it sounds like it's stereo on the back end in Final Cut or Adobe or DaVinci or whatever you want to use.
We saw so many athletes PR, and I think that's a result of the environment.
No, it's not. No, it's not the result of the environment. It's clearly the use of the 8-minute window that they've never had, ever.
And it's a result of the way that we gave them 8 minutes to just free lift.
Yes! Yeah. Should have led with that and left with that.
How they would find a PR in the gym. You know, it's 8 minutes, it's a big chunk of time. You can kind of ease your way up to the upper limits of your capacity.
I cannot tell you the number of times that I've heard the athletes say that they don't even know what their PRs are because they don't test them. Probably most famously, Patrick Vellner is known for not having tested his 1 rep max deadlift before he PR'd his deadlift at what, 605 pounds at the games in 2021. But it is an absurd claim to say, yeah, they all just PR all of their lifts in the gym. It's like, what is this, the 4 p.m. class, Will?
And then you add in the adrenaline that the environment provides and it creates magic.
Magic! Cause you're everywhere to me.
Magic.
When I close my eyes, it's you I see.
Magic! Daddy! Told you Will's our guy. As long as Will is there, we're gonna have something to make fun of about the World Fitness Project.
Oh.
Whomever is editing this video, you're going to have a hell of a time making Will look any better than this.
Yeah.
For the second part, you could do a 100-meter dash, but when you're in a stadium that's 150 feet long, it's hard to do that.
You think?
I don't think it is. And why do you have to do a 100-meter dash? Like, you could literally do anything. Insert the clip of Roger.
Unlimited budget and a blank check.
You do anything.
So how do you create 10 guys and 10 girls getting to the finish line within seconds of each other? And I think it's the lunge.
How do I create 10 guys and 10 girls getting within the line of seconds of one another? I think it's the lunge. First thing that comes to my mind is Firestorm CrossFit game. How about running Isabel? You you think it's the lunge? That's the furthest thing away from any sort of a sprint that I've ever seen.
Talking about Austin, Austin's fine. Athlete safety remains like our top priority.
Cool, they talked about the GHD, but they never talk about the broken bike. Ricky Garard's broken bike during the handstand walk event.
And he chose to just take the score. So I think that was a fair resolution. His team was happy with it. We were happy with it.
See the cut. No matter what they're going to say about that, that's still insane that they're just going to be like, oh yeah, here's your score. Or you can redo it. Either way, it's insane. What's the solution? Make him finish the workout on the floor or have that time that he had where he was done on the floor. This came during my second time watching it, clearly because I needed to watch it. And as I look at this thing, I'm like, what is this? This is why the workouts have to be simple. Can you read this? Again, this is like 20, 25 minutes into the documentary, the second one of the season. Imagine somehow, some way, YouTube feeds to some person, they've made it this far, they get to this workout and they're looking at it and they're like, what? What's this? They're gonna do weighted twos? What is a weighted do?
Potatoes.
Then you get into this huge tirade about Tommy talking about James Spring and they make 7 camera cuts. I'm here to tell you that nothing he had to say was all that important. And if it is that important, I'm sure you got camera footage of James Spray to lay over and make it a little bit more interesting.
For event 5.
Audio issue there.
For event 5.
You hear them both talking at the same time, it's just annoying.
For event 5.
It's like the easiest fix ever, just move the audio sliders over just a little bit.
I thought there was really like some beauty in watching the way Victor and DB just executed the pirouettes.
Is he trying to be Dave?
Magic, 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 magic.
What does he mean by beauty?
Some beauty.
It's beautiful in the same sense that I see parents hanging their kids' artwork on the refrigerator. It's like, I made that, so now that's on the fridge, and I think that that is beautiful, so we're all gonna look at it. Anyone else who comes on in, they're like, sure will.
How are you feeling about the finals being in Copenhagen? Do you like that?
I'm happy. I'm so happy about that.
How are you feeling about the...
Looks like Laura's gonna be competing.
The people are not ready or they're gonna get there. It's gonna be great. The European people show up, so it's gonna be good.
Hear that, Americans? You missed out. Laura said so.
I feel better. I know I had to like push the machines.
This is a 53-second unbroken clip of Daniel Brandon talking. You notice pacing breaking when you stare at it all day the way that I do. I don't know how many other people would notice it, but like it's this athlete, that athlete, Linda Kiesman, you show a little bit of Roman, you show a Tommy, a Will, and then it's just Daniel Brandon for an hour, or it seems like an hour. My only question is if they did that on purpose. It's like, is everything she said there that important to the story? Or do you just want to show Daniel Brandon a bunch? Probably. Oh, look, Bar Moose.
Kind of a play off of the standard. And with the athletes all training Heavy Isabel for the game season, you know, they were primed to do really well in that.
Will, that's what you took away from the athletes doing Heavy Isabel weekend after weekend after weekend? You took away that they're primed to do more something similar to more Heavy Isabel? All of a sudden, you hear stuff like that, you put 2 and 2 together, you think for 14 seconds, you're like, oh, that's why the athletes are dropping out. I don't want to do Heavy Isabel again. It's as simple as that for probably at least one of them. You're acting like I don't know that for a fact.
Bye, Mr.
Like 3. 3, 2, 3, 2.
I actually read this on a comment on the YouTube channel already. Having Kotler mic'd up like that, talking to Manon Agnes is great. Very cool.
An impressive performance on the women's side. Manon from the earlier heat. You know, Manon who's been a...
5 more angle changes for a straight talk shoot of Tommy. I really like the audio they chose here for White Shark. If you pay any attention to her whatsoever, she like wore the corn shirt. She's into the heavy stuff.
Yeah, let's go, Manon, run!
They overdo it a little bit with what I thought was great, including the Kotler mic. I would have said like maybe 1, but there's this constant back and forth in the middle of it. It's the only time that they feature it. It's not like a common feature. This would be like a cool one-off YouTube thing. Kind of like the whole event finale of World Fitness Project finals with Manon Agnes, and they have just this back and forth with Kotler kind of giving his 2 cents worth.
I know she'll be happy with that.
Yeah, no way, she won. Real astute observation there, Mr. Kotler.
When I wrote it, I thought, you know, we could have maybe 2 or 3 guys go around 5 minutes, and many athletes, men and women, were under that 5-minute mark.
I heard JR talking about these workouts the other day with Taylor and Bryson, and he's like,
I think it's great that they have something this long. It's actually the only workout in 23 or 24 events that is over 18 minutes.
The only one over 18 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about where the majority of people finish. I don't care about time caps. So don't talk to me about time caps. Like, it's just there hasn't been a workout yet that most of the field has finished over 20 minutes.
All of the time caps are absurd. I'm not even going to listen to the time caps because they're all way too long.
Laura, capped the weekend with a heat win and a win in your in type scenario. There's only been a handful of times in our sport.
What sport?
Yeah, day 3. What a way to finish the competition.
Yeah, well, day 3 is how you end a competition, usually, unless there's 4 days.
As the leaderboard and the results from Tour Stop 2, I would say the word kind of redemption stands out.
For looking at all of the events, I would say that the key word would have been redundant. How can you not love Roman Krennikov?
And that's what you see in other sports where the season is long and you have these storylines over and over again and athletes get to see each other multiple times. And it's not just like, I got you this one time, see you next year. It's no, like, I'll see you in a couple of months.
Tommy's got a great point. No, really, he's got a good point here. My favorite thing about the Cubs baseball season for like many people is when they played the crosstown rivals, the White Sox. But wait a minute, in baseball, not too long ago, you had the likes of CC Sabathia and Bartolo Colon being at the top of their game, throwing no-hitters in the freaking, being the best of the best in baseball. And the people who are often seeing each other week over week or month over month are not beating themselves into the floor the way that CrossFit athletes need to do at these competitions. Tommy?
I think in Mesa you can see a lot of the athletes looking at the overall picture.
Right.
You can really see them thinking about the end game.
All but 14 of them. I'll be entirely honest, I just think that whomever was editing this thing got bored. Because it isn't that hard to make text just roll over the screen. So you read a little bit, you got the music going, people are reading it like captions on any old TV show where you're watching Netflix and it drives half of the room crazy because they never turn the captions on or off. I don't even know what they're saying because I'm too busy reading the words. And it's what I brought up way in the beginning of this. They spent all of the money on Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, CJI as the Scorpion King, on like they did the Fisa Gaffi thing in the Tour Stop 1 doc. And then the thing just kind of sputtered out to the point where I'm looking at this and I'm like, yep, you were done. You were just done editing it. Well, like I said, it's far, far better than the first one. We went from something that was by far the worst documentary that I had ever seen to something where it seems like they've passed it through a couple of different eyeballs at minimum, if not having an entirely different editor altogether. Like, I seriously can't believe that this would be made by the same person. I am genuinely wondering what it looked like on the other side of the computer. Somewhere on the planet, I'm connected to the editor. Like, I'm holding onto this computer screen and somewhere, some way, they're frozen to that thing. And they're like, when do I press the publish button? What's going to happen this time? Oh my God, here we go. And they touch it.
That's what she said.
This phenomenal thing called the internet has now brought it to my eyeballs and brought it to you. And I'm telling you and everybody that they did a way better job here. Go watch it. You'll see. It's way better. Will Moorhead's the punching bag of the show, and that's about it.
When I close my eyes, it's you I see.
The only thing I really have to leave you guys with is Syndrome here talking for a couple seconds about how excited he is to go across the seas for the first time in his life. That's it. See ya.
Came down to the wire. I think I was the second to last one to qualify, so stressful, but glad I took care of business and excited. It'll be also my first time competing overseas.